All right, let's get right into it. We're talking personal protective equipment. And look, this isn't just about checking boxes. This is your armor. It's the gear that makes sure you go home in one piece. We're digging straight into Section 2 of the Illinois Electric Cooperative's Employee Safety Manual, giving you a no-fluff guide to staying safe out there. You know, this quote right here, it says everything. Safety isn't some corporate policy they hand you. It's a promise you make to yourself, to your family. The gear we're about to cover, these are your shields. They're what stand between you and a very bad day, but they're only as good as the person wearing them. So here's our game plan. We'll start with the one rule that governs everything. Then we'll run a full head-to-toe check on your standard gear. After that, we dive deep into the two big ones, electrical shielding and fall protection. And we'll wrap it all up with the one thing that makes it all work. You. Okay, before we even think about which helmet or what gloves to wear, we have to talk about the foundation. This is the one thing you do no matter what before any gear ever goes on. This right here is the golden rule straight out of Section 2, Part B. It's not a suggestion. It's not a when you have time thing. It is your absolute first line of defense. Because think about it. A helmet with a hairline crack, a glove with a tiny pinhole, that's not protection anymore. That's a liability. This one check, done every single time, is what keeps a normal day from becoming a tragedy. And let's be crystal clear. This is on you. The manual puts this responsibility right on your shoulders. You inspect your gear. You make sure it works. And if you see something wrong with your equipment, with the site, you put the brakes on. You report it. You don't move forward until it's safe. And defective gear, it doesn't get set aside for later. It gets replaced immediately. This is about owning your safety. All right, so with inspection locked in as our number one habit, let's build on that. Let's look at the specific shields you need for the hazards you face, starting right at the top. Okay, up top, your helmet. It's a Class E helmet for a reason. That E stands for electrical. This is your first defense against shock from above. And for your eyes, just any safety glasses won't cut it. They need side shields, because an arc flash or a piece of shrapnel isn't going to come at you straight on. And if there's any chance of injury to your face, a face shield is mandatory. It's a complete system. Moving on down. That constant noise on a job site, if you have to raise your voice to talk to someone a few feet away, you need ear protection. It's that simple. Your boots, they're basically a fortress for your feet. Gotta be rated for impact, for punctures, and electrical hazards. And your hands, your money makers, they need the right gloves for the specific task, whether you're worried about cuts, burns, or chemicals. Okay, let's zero in on what might be the single most important gear in your bag. When we're talking about preventing a catastrophic electrical incident, it all comes down to your rubber insulating equipment. So let's just pause for a second. You're about to handle an energized line. You've got your rubber gloves. How do you know, really know, with 100% certainty that they are good to go? Thinking they're fine because they were okay yesterday, that's a gamble you just can't take. The manual gives you a precise two-part test for this exact reason. First, the visual test. And this isn't a quick once-over. This is a methodical, almost forensic examination. You're looking for anything. Tears, holes, cracks, weird textures. You stretch the cuff a bit to expose anything hiding. You get right in between the fingers, and then you turn the whole glove inside out and you do it all over again. Next up is the air test. It's so simple, but man, it is a lifesaver. You drop air inside, roll the cuff down to build up the pressure, and then you squeeze. You're listening, and you're feeling for even the faintest hiss of escaping air. A pinhole you could never see with your eye will show itself right here. If you hear or feel anything, that glove is done. It's out of service, period. But even a perfectly inspected glove is totally useless if it's the wrong one for the job. This table is non-negotiable. Using a Class 2 glove on a 26,500-volt system gives you a false sense of security. You might as well be wearing nothing. You have to know the system voltage, and you have to match it to the glove's class rating. No exceptions. So we've covered our electrical armor. Now let's talk about that other constant threat, gravity. Your fall protection gear needs the same level of respect and discipline as your electrical gear. The stakes are just as high. Here's the number you gotta burn into your brain. 4 feet. That's it. It might not sound very high, but the manual is absolute. If you are working on a structure more than 4 feet off the ground, you are using personal fall arrest equipment. End of story. And here's the second critical number, 2 feet. Your work positioning system has to be rigged so that you cannot free fall more than 2 feet. Why so little? Well, you know it's not the fall that gets you, it's that sudden stop. Limiting the drop to 2 feet reduces the force on your body, making sure the gear that saves your life doesn't seriously injure you in the process. Starting to see a theme here? The rules for fall protection should sound pretty familiar by now. Just like everything else, it demands that daily inspection. It has to fit you properly. You gotta store it right, away from anything that could damage it. And if there's any damage at all, it's immediately taken out of service. Your gear is your lifeline. You have to treat it that way. Okay, we've talked gear, we've talked tests, we've talked rules. Let's wrap this up by bringing it all back to the one thing that powers this entire system: your daily personal commitment to safety. This quote is the final word. After the briefing, after your gear check, after you've sized up the job, the final go/no-go decision rests with you. You have to be satisfied. You have to be confident it can be done without anyone getting hurt. That's not just your responsibility, it's your authority. So I'll leave you with this final question. You can have the best gear money can buy. You can have the safety manual memorized. But there is one hazard out there you'll never see on a job plan. It's the most dangerous one you face every day. What is it? Complacency. It's that feeling that it won't happen to me. It's the urge to skip one little inspection because you're behind schedule. It's assuming a glove is fine without doing the test. Complacency is the silent killer that makes all your gear and all your training worthless. The only shield against it is discipline. The absolute, unwavering commitment to do it the right way every single time. That is your ultimate piece of personal protective equipment.